This is FIBA Podcast. Thank you for joining us in our morning daily devotion.
Joseph grew up, as he grew up, knowing that God had a purpose for him, that God had planned a destiny for him. Point number 2, experiencing God in Potiphar's house. God has a plan, and that's totally awesome, but Satan is all out to thwart it. Because he's all about rob, kill, steal, murder, take everything away what God has in store for you, what God has given to you, what God is intending to give for you also. Because of Satan's ways and what he is doing, this is a time that God uses through trials to train our eyes of our heart and the ears of our heart to listen to him, be focused on him. Let's remember, and the other side of Joseph is that just because you have your boss's approval and the favor doesn't mean you're in the safest place. Joseph had Potiphar's favor upon him, and that's what took him to be the boss over every person and everything in Potiphar's house. But that is not the safest place also. Just because you're a slave, it is not all that bad because God is working. Or just because you have your boss's favor doesn't mean that it's a safe place. Either way, God is in control and God is sovereign. And he wants you and me to look up to him. Potiphar's wife takes an unusual interest on Joseph. And Joseph had to flee for doing the right thing. Joseph had to flee for doing the right thing. Sin is simply not in God's plan for Joseph. When Joseph is going through these things, in Joseph's mind, sin is not just in a part of God's plan for him. And that's why he says, how can I sin against God? How can I sin against? God's got a destiny. God's got a purpose. He is dependable. He is there for me. He's brought me this far. And I will not change over now. God is my master. Godly living may not always lead you to a place of promotion and good name and good fame always. Being honest, being truthful, standing up for justice, doing the right thing may not earn the world's best for you. That's what happened to Joseph here. Psalm 20 verse 7. Some trust in chariots, some their horses, but we remember the name of the Lord. We are called to not put our trust in chariots or in horses, but in God who has called us in any situation, in every situation. And that's what Joseph did. Joseph stood up for the right thing because it was God who was watching him, it was God who was giving him the favor, and he had a God who he can depend on. And so, in spite of everything that happened, he had to flee. Watch how Joseph's life was saved. Potiphar puts him in prison and does not execute him. Can you imagine this? In those days, if you read olden days literature, you will know for a certain fact that if any of these kings or people who are in high positions suspect their wife for something like this, they would immediately kill the man. But Joseph wasn't killed. He was sent to the prison. In other words, what I'm saying is, Potiphar knew in the depth of his heart that his wife was lying to him. His trust was not in his wife's words. And so he sent Joseph to the prison. Probably a poor man stuck between his wife and a genuine cause that he needs to stand for. God is still working in Joseph's life. James chapter 1 verses 2 to 4. My dear brothers and sisters, of course, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that this, the trying of faith, worketh patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. Here's what happened. Joseph, as he goes to prison, leaves a lasting impact about God about righteous living. Everyone, including Potiphar, Potiphar's wife, every servant there, probably everyone in the kingdom, everyone in the prison also knew this is why he was coming. And they probably should have wondered, how come Joseph said no to this? How come Joseph vouched to righteous living? A story that's unheard of. Amazing, isn't it?
Dear listener, we are here to stand with you in your time of need. We want to pray with you and for your prayer request. Do you need someone to talk to? We are here for you. Call us or send a message at +91 636 425 2164 +91 636 425 2164. God bless you.